Stanley Kubrick, Speechlessness. Who are you, Stanley Kubrick? You are the director which I'm jealous of. If I were allowed to be one, then you. Just as you, I dreamed I wanted to make films. Seldom. Always something special. Always setting standards. Always. Except the last. Why this cast? Why not AI? Why? 1987, I was 22 years old. The movies of Stanley Kubrick always had something, not something. They were always exceptional. In them one could sink, disappear, delve into, drown. From the early films was Path of Glory that moved me the most. The futility of the whole story, the futility of military, the futility of war, order and obedience, the exercise of power, the greed for success, victory at any price, a price that others have to pay. An impressive film, a terrible end, nihilistic. I have already said that I have little use for Lolita because the whole story seems to me shallow and ridiculous, corrupt. The poor man, the seductive nymphet. Poor American when he fucks a young girl on the Philippines. We Germans like Thailand more indeed. Kubrick's screen adaptation, Baby Doll. With 2001, A Space Odyssey, the myth of Kubrick began for me. I sat in the cinema. The spacecraft entered from the left the screen, and endlessly slowly it flew in endless silence. Then there is a thought that attracts me more than to be completely surrounded by the endless ocean than this. Simply to drift in the silent universe. Only that this can be put into practice very difficultly only. It seems pointless to me to say something about the plot, the costumes and such like. Often enough it was spoken about that. I sat in the cinema and lost myself in the images when Bowman goes on his aviation. Thought about drugs. Even then. But of course only abstractly and intellectually, differently from today. The music, everything about this film makes me shiver, excites me, casts a spell over me. If I were allowed only once again to watch a movie, then this. Ultraviolence. The next film that made me shiver very differently. I wanted to belong to them. Not. I wanted to be one of the ordinary people. It hurts me to see how Alex was abused to become ordinary. I never wanted to be ordinary, to belong to do what all did because all did it. And the violence? I could sense how sensual it was, what the droogs did, never thinking about to do it myself. Could I understand the victims also? Of course. It was wrong what they did, although I could understand it. I could understand that you radicalized yourself and finally became the RAF. Their deeds disgusted me. I could understand the country, that he fought back, the paralyzing, leaden, dreary country, the hypocritical country after 45 just simply start afresh with the old gentleman. I could understand them all, confused therein having compassion for all. How easy it would be to have a lucid image, good and evil. Just to be a droog. A fair bit of fun, one would have in any case. The next film I could see only many years later for the first time. Jack. I saw myself in Jack. He fascinated me, definitely. His slipping, incessantly, slowly, inexorably. His madness attracted me. But I was also disappointed by the elevator and other things. Fascinated I was by the dying of Jack. He froze to death, drowned in the snow like McCabe. A terrible death. Full Metal Jacket. One scene. When the sniper repeatedly shoots at a screaming soldier, and then the young woman as she lies wounded at the feet of the soldiers, and then will be executed by them. How more futility, the insanity of humans can be expressed. War as the ultimate destiny of man in which he can act out his whole humanity. Entirely human, permitted to be. Entirely human is. Like with an automatic weapon, a magazine for 100 shells, and ammunition who shreds body, not only kills, shoots at a cupboard. Entirely human to be. Also, such an American dream. Akira Kurosawa, Different World. Who are you, Akira Kurosawa? You're from another world, so close, so incredibly close. Your characters so helpless, the plot so inevitable, the dead so self-evident, the truth so blurred. You were a foreman for me, a teacher. 1980, I was 15 years old. 1985, I was 20 years old. 1990, I was 25 years old. 1991, I was 26 years old. 1993, I was 28 years old. 2015, I'm 50 years old. Your last 3 movies, I have never seen. The movies of Akira Kurosawa always had something special in itself. They were moments of understanding that there's more, cast a doubt on me. 1992, I began my studies. To me, he was always something like a close related to Ingmar Bergman. The many movies, so many thoughts, impressions. So much could be said, such a little I'm able to say. The question about the truth, the relentless pursuit of honor, the confrontation with Western art and the thereof originated works, most of all, honor and truth. He showed simply, impressively and distinctly that truth is impossible per se, that everyone lives within his truth and grimly stand fast to it, even if it's placed extremely in question just then. When 4 total conflicting versions of a course of an event will be depicted, 3 are wrong, or what actually imposes all 4. The truth may be found in any of the statements in parts. The lie, definitely. The truth, it will not give. The truth is an illusion, a phantom, as the reality, as the authenticity, the objectivity. I learned this early from Kurosawa. And the honor? Relentlessly go his way? What are the summarized yet only caricatures of a bygone era? relics of the past, no longer usable, useless. For me, it was the image of an adolescence, even the greatest, the most significant, the most powerful would pass away. No empire had persisted. Everything became to the past. No battle created something that had persisted. None resulted a lasting sense. The once proud samurai was only the laughing stock of the people, and even then they meet them once again. A swan song. Kagemusha reminds me of Peckinpah when its protagonist, the waterhole for horses, runs, but then has no gasoline for a car. Kurosawa, we just only perfect the killing, the destruction, emptiness. Ran, I was shocked by this film, his images, the futility, the insanity, the greed, despair. Nothing has persistence any longer. What has persistence? The inexorability of what humans do with other humans, force on them, culminated in this film. And just because it was located in another world, he showed the universal, human, which is in all of us, we carry within us. Japan, Germany, Serbia, USA. The heritage of my fathers, where are the mothers? The heritage of humans, history, only a succession of wars, empires and rulers. Does this not show in particular the absurdity of human existence when it defines itself, its history about this? I feel sick. No, I still have none. Cannot go around the corner to the store. If only I could see the ocean at least. Her tender waves. Martin Scorsese, attracting worlds. Who are you, Martin Scorsese? When I see you, I see a friend, buddy, father. You were a father figure to me. From you, I learned the things that a son learns from his father. And so, they have increasingly alienated us. 1983, the break. 1983, I was 18 years old. The movies of Martin Scorsese always had something American in itself. They shaped in a thought way my image, the image of America. And why? The city was America to me, and Little Italy the city. I looked at his protagonist, unaware that I would become like him someday, still developing towards him. Mean Streets and Raging Bull, grandiose films, legends for me both. New York, New York and The King of Comedy, The City, Broadway, Danny Rose, Woody Allen. And also The Last Temptation of Christ, Cape Fear, Casino and Aviator, films that impressed me. But Taxi Driver. 1976. I was 11 years old. Probably still innocent, or yet already no longer. Gave it ever a film that attracted and repelled me, cast a spell over me, in which I was drowned, which should never let me go, than this? How often, how many hours I walked through cities at night, aimless, not being able to sleep, empty, numb, lonely. But I have never seen an angel. or I just never recognized her. Travis was able to. Sitting in the porn movie theater, bored, drunks at a station, no scum. I felt bad for them. I had no mission. Only empty thoughts of what could be, what might be possible, what I could do, what love to do, would be. I was Travis. That was clear to me. At the latest, when I looked him at the end of the film, sitting at the back in the taxi, in his eyes in the rearview mirror. When I saw my eyes in the mirror. For a moment I thought to have found Iris. How ridiculous, how incapable. The city in which I should always return. Where I was for the first time. She was not NY. And I, not Travis. I interpreted the film as a rejection of the catharsis by violence. Travis had not changed, or Bret Easton Ellis. No self-awareness, no matter how massive and extensive the violence. How much violence I would have to commit against me. Outwardly, I change from day to day, so fast that it hurts, so fast that it only takes weeks that I have to stop it. And then? Am I then the person I formerly was? Then? Who was Travis formerly? Then formerly? Does that matter? Travis, you hero. Could I also be a hero? What act of heroism? When I yet have to kill somebody to become a hero, then I kill my body. Should I kill my mind? Just as he kills his sentiences that I do not have to kill, not because I have none, because they are caught and will never appear. Can save me the killing? I have always wondered, who are the good guys in this film? I have not found anyone. Also not, and much less, the parents of Iris. It seems to me only one choice to be left. Sport or Betsy? And Iris? Iris throws away her life. Drops out. Sport? Does he lies to Iris, or... What a blasphemous question, or... Drops out. Betsy. When she indeed gets involved with Travis, not generally rejects him. When she swans in her white dress across the zebra crossing. Betsy is an angel. Angels are always good, or? I sit in a cafe and look at Betsy as she passes like an angel. Thank you for listening.